Welcome to Nicole's Tips. Today, in this installment, we'll look at Adho Mukha Vrikshasana or handstand. My 3 tips for Adho Mukha Vrikshasana are: place your hands and activate them, knit your rib cage in, and find neutral pelvis and hug your legs together. So let's unpack this together. You'll start on hands and knees. And on hands and knees, first thing, this is to get your wrists in an optimal position for weight bearing. You actually want to turn your hands out further than you might usually do. Index fingers should be pointing straight forward so they're parallel to the long edges of your mat. In some cases, to take more pressure off your wrist, you might even turn your hands out a little bit further. But you want to make sure that you're not turning the index fingers in any amount. So index fingers pointing straight forward. Then, to activate the hands, you'll press down through your fingertips into the floor, almost like you're clawing down into your mat. Clawing down into your mat, you should feel some lift and engagement through the muscles in your forearms and even the muscles in your hands. This creates a lift through your palm too, called Hasta Bandha. It's a little bind, a lift, a suction cupping action. Okay, so hands. Then, next piece, from hands and knees, you want to knit your rib cage in and up. The tendency in this shape is for the things that don't need to work to hold this position to kind of relax. So the rib cage tends to want to dump down toward the floor. This isn't so helpful when we are trying to come and balance upside down in handstand. So what you'll do is knit your rib cage in and up away from the floor, filling the back side of your body. Okay. Now we'll explore this for a moment in downward facing dog, which is a good preparatory shape for handstand. So keep knitting in and up, curl your toes under, come up and back into downward facing dog, and keep the activation and placement of the hands, but also keep on knitting the rib cage in and up, filling the back side of your body in downward facing dog. It's something we can forget to do in downward facing dog. Less critical in downward facing dog, but it is super important once you come into handstand. Okay, make your way down for now. In order to find neutral pelvis and hugging the legs together, we'll stand up together. So neutral pelvis takes you from a little bit of an anterior tilt into neutral. Yes, the tendency is that most of us, we tend to stand with a little anterior tilt of the pelvis, which is a sticking of the buttocks back. Especially when we turn upside down, the pelvis really wants to do this. So we want to avoid that. To come into neutral pelvis, what you'll do is lengthen the tailbone down toward the heels and zip from your pubic bones to your belly button. The direction is going to flip when you flip yourself upside down. For a moment, notice the engagement that you feel in the muscles, right? This is going to be your key to determining whether or not you're actually finding these actions when you turn upside down. So do you feel some engagement of the muscles in your lower abdomen? If it's yes, then you're doing it. If you feel some engagement in your buttocks and your gluteal muscles, guess what? You're doing the right thing. Okay. So I'm finding neutral pelvis. I'm going to turn to face you so you can see this a little bit more clearly. Find neutral pelvis with your feet hip width, and then hug your feet and legs all the way together. Notice how this really contains everything and makes it super strong. Once you're upside down, you want to bring your legs together and hug them together for extra strength. Just so you're feeling this all the way out, all the way through. Bring your arms up over your head, bring them into handstand position. And just notice how this becomes super strong. Keep knitting the rib cage in and back, feel the back side of your body, stretch your arms up. Okay? And bring your arms back down, shake it out. Let's go after it together. If you would like to kick up to a wall space, make your way to a wall. My recommendation is to place your hands a few inches away from the wall, maybe about a hand's distance, which is about 4 to 5 inches. So, come down to hands and knees. I will show away from the wall and you make your way to the wall if that is helpful and skillful. Place your hands well, pointing your index fingers forward. Claw your fingertips down into the floor. Knit your ribcage in and up, filling the backside of your body. Make your way into downward facing dog, keeping those actions. Then look up between your hands and toward your thumbs, index fingers. Lift your heels up away from the floor. Walk in until your weight is on your hands and your shoulders are stacking over your wrists. Keep your heels lifted high. Lift one leg up. And then from here, maybe a light hop to come up into handstand. You might take a couple tries. Few tries maybe, in my case. And then as you bring your feet and legs together, I'm going to lengthen the tailbone, hug the legs together, try to find that point of balance, and try to stabilize it. Whew. That's what I've got right now, today. And then you can work with the wall to extend the length of balance and try to kind of straighten that out. Find those actions more firmly. All right, here are my 3 tips for Adho Mukha Vrikshasana. I hope they help.